Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel Corrine Crafts. I hope you're all well. Hope you've been creating some lovely makes. Oh my goodness me, this one is gonna blow your socks off. I love this. Look at that. Now this works because of the volume of foliage put into this project. Love the background, really simple, no inking, no nothing, just making gorgeous background, popping in a few little bits of gold, sort of filigree, but loads and loads of foliage. I wanted to make this, as I'll explain in the video, because I got this set of dies off Lou Collins. She was selling some bits and pieces. I got that and I wanted to make a beautiful card. I think, oops, there's a leaf falling out here. I think you're going to see a few projects with this die set because I love it. But that's the first one. So I'm going to show you how to make it. It's so easy, but it's so effective. Let's have a go. Right, let's get on with this. I'm quite excited about this one. I think this is going to be a really good project to put together. So can I say first, the dies that I'm going to be using, or the majority of the dies, are these ones, Paper Discovery by Olga, and I'm not even going to try and say her surname. They're the Bountiful Harvest Leaf die set, and there are some other coordinated bits. Now I picked this up secondhand from Lou Collins. She's been having a big clear out, so I picked up that, and I picked up some sentiments that I was going to use, but I didn't. There we go. It's always the way, isn't it? So I bought these secondhand. You can get some amazing bargains by looking around. I really do advocate looking at what people are selling. Love these. Now I've put them on this board. There are still, as you can hear, some in there that I didn't need to use. These ones have all come out of that set, and what you'll see is you've got the ones that are like the skeleton leaves, but you've also got a matte layer, and they fit exactly. They don't give you a border, they fit perfectly. So I've got that for that one. Those two match together and those two match together. So I'm going to be using those in their pairs and singly, but I've also got some extra ones from that set. I've also got some leaves that you've seen me do. I used these when I did my Yupo card. I've got a little background one which adds a little bit extra. This is quite a busy card, and I've also got some flower dies. I've already actually started to cut them out. These are what I call your cut and emboss dies. You know a cut and emboss die, you can see the blade around the outside, but can you see it's open in the middle, but there's no blade? Let me show you the difference. If you look at this one, the gaps in the middle have got blades around the outside, so that's going to cut it as a skeleton leaf. Let me find that one that shows you. It'll cut it like that, so it'll actually cut the holes into it. This one, if I show you here, that's come out of there. Those have got gaps, but there's no blade. So what it does is it allows you to then put it onto your mat. That's a good one I can show you. Put it onto your mat and then emboss it. So you can see it's debossed on that side, embossed on that side. So I've inked through. So that is just a clue for you. If you're looking at dies and there's no blade around the hole, it means it's designed for you to emboss with. If it's got a blade around the hole, then it will cut it out. Hope that makes sense, but it's really a valid point. So I'm going to show you what I have done. Oh, and the other thing I've done is I've used a large background die. I love these. They create so much interest. Now I've done most of my cutting, but I'm going to show you how it puts together. So my colour palette. I thought I'd have a pop of navy, so I'm using this navy, but then I'm going quite autumnal colours. I know we're going into summer, but I thought we'd go quite autumnal. So it's navy and this sort of yellow. This is actually russet. Looks quite a match for my nails, doesn't it, that I've had done today? And a lovely green. This was a massive sheet of green that I've cut down. So what I have done so far, and I will show you, is I have used that background die. Let me pick it back up again. The background die, and I've cut it out of white. I've cut it 3 times. So can you see now? It's nice. It's got some depth. It's got some rigidity to it. I cut it out of 210 GSM, I think it was, maybe 250. So now 250. So now that's like equivalent of 750 plus the glue. So it's a really nice solid bit. So you know, it's a bit like cutting out of MDF. I then cut a piece of white card, just a little bit bigger. Now you could come like that. So I like the white on white, but if you wanted to, I like to give you choices. You could do that. Now that's not going to give me the look I wanted, so I'm going to put it onto some white with the smallest border around the outside, and then again. But that leads me on to my next discovery. I've just got a precision glue press. I have been looking for one of these for months and months and months. It's from My Sweet Petunia. There's no ad to this. I can't give you a cheap link or anything like this. This is just something that I have bought that I have been after for ages. Now, you've seen us with our glue and you're squeezing it out and you're trying to do, and you've seen us with our little bottles, which I love, but sometimes it's quite hard to get it out. This gets round that need. So I'll show you what I had to get onto an email wait list, and basically I got onto the email wait list, and it came in this week, and I've seen them on a couple. I've had 2 emails because I was on every site I could find as a wait list. So what you've got is you get the lid in here, and you've got a bottle of what's it called, Nouveau Deluxe adhesive, but you've also got an empty bottle. Look, it says refillable bottle there, so you can put any glue in there. It says not suitable for all glues. It did say don't use solvent-based glues. You want to be using things like your PVA, that's quite a thick one, or your tacky glue, or some more of your Nouveau glue. It's entirely up to you, but it's really useful to have too. It pops into here. Now, first time I put it on like that, but no, you've got to get it right to there. So the glue comes out of this beautifully fine nozzle, but your lid has got a nice pin in there, so you put your lid on, and that's going to keep that nice and clean. So between uses I do that, but not when I'm crafting. So then what it's got this stand, and hopefully you can see that. I can't see what you can see. Can you see this little rubber stopper? When you put this in the stand, that the weight of the glue presses down, the nozzle presses onto the rubber stopper, and that creates a seal. So that means your glue doesn't go off. But let me show you. Let me just find a scrap out of my bin. Let me find a scrap of card. Oh, this will show up nicely. You can see what I've been doing. So then you get your glue, and you just look, I'm hardly squeezing, but look at that. There is no effort. I'm hardly squeezing. It takes out all the hard work. There must be something inside there that squeezes it. It is absolute. Look at that, how fine you can go without any shaking your bottle, any hard work. So I'll show you. I'm going to put it onto here because I was using it. So I can just come all the way down here, and I know my glue's not going to ooze out because I'm just using the smallest amount. I'm trying to remember how much it cost me. I can't remember. I only bought it this week. It might be $34.95. It might have been. I know it's a considered purchase, but for me, when time is precious, I'm no longer messing around with glue bottles and shaking glue. For me, it's worth every penny. I'm going to get a lot of use out of it. Look how quickly I've done that. That was so quick. And I'm going to pop that onto there. I can't comment yet on the Nouveau glue because today is the first time of using it. It appears to be absolutely brilliant. I can't fault it. My card, this has been stuck with it. My card doesn't seem to be warping. It seems to be holding really nicely. Yeah, I can't fault it. It looks like a good glue, but it's my first day of using it. The ease is so easy. How long it holds the stick, I don't know. Then, because once I've done that, you know I like my solvent-based glue, my all-purpose. I will go back to doing my all-purpose for my mats and layers, just because it's the glue I like to do mats and layers with. It's about finding the right one. So I would use my precision glue for anything precision, and I will still use my other glue when I would normally use it. So just building these mats and layers up. I took a card. This was a card for a 7x7 envelope, and I've just trimmed it down to what I needed. But I start from the top of my card. I don't start from my base. So that was the first piece I cut. Then I cut the white. Then I cut the gold. Then I cut the navy. Then I worked out how big my card base needed to be. So yeah, that's how I work. So I very rarely have a standard card shape size because I don't start with my card base. Perhaps it's something I need to learn to do, but I always know what I want it to finish looking like at the top. So I just work it down from there. So I'm going to put that like that. And I keep seeing our Jan do this. Get a block, and I'm going to put that on, I'm going to pop some glue on there, and I'm just going to hold that while that dries. So that's just in the corner drying. So I've got a little block, a little bit of weight on it, just to get it nice and dry. So it's about, let's start going with the foliage. So you're going to think I have gone crackers when you look at this, because I have cut so much foliage. So I've cut, can you see? I've cut that one in yellow, and the same, because that's what I want to do. Now I did think about going in with ink, but I've decided not to for now. For this, I've cut this one in green. I've cut this one again in the lovely russet. Then I've cut this one in yellow, and then I've cut it as a pear in the green. What else have I done? Oh, I've got some of these ones from down here in the green. I don't know if I'm going to use them all. Who knows? And I'm going to make some flowers, and I'm going to show you how to. Oh, and that one in the russet, and that one's in the russet. So I've got lots. And that was one of those pieces that I've cut up. I've cut 2 of those. I just think that gold, and that's the same gold as I had as my matten layer. So it just brings all those colours together. So let's start putting some of these leaves together, because I want to show you how I'm going to do that. And then I'll make this flower up, because I want to show you how easy it is to do them. So I'm going to get my precision glue again, and I'm just going to go all over with this, just like that. So if you do want one of these, they are in stock. Just Google Sweet Petunia. It is Sweet Petunia, isn't it? My Sweet Petunia precision glue gun, and it'll come up, and you'll be able to find it. If I can find a link to a couple, I will, that are still in stock. I'll put it on the bottom of this video, but I haven't worked out whether I can find it yet, but I'm sure I can. So we can put that onto here. Unfortunately, there's no big companies got it in stock yet, like your Amazons and things like that. Now that's slightly bigger, that one, but that's fine. That's going to give us a nice effect. I just think this is adding texture. It adds dimension. Oh, it does come out slightly bigger. Look at that. That looks lovely. And like I say, if you wanted to ink it up, you could. That one's there. So I'm going to leave that one as it is. That one clearly one goes on its own. And so are those. So those ones there, I'm not doing. Oh, I am doing with that one, aren't I? Think it through, Corrine. And then this one. So this is another one where I want to do the layers. But I wanted just to have a nice mix. So there we go. We can put that on here. So you see, just a little bit of glue, but I've got such control, and that will go over here. Oh, they all give me that tiny little bit of a lip. You see, these are brand new for me. Like I said, they're not new dies, but they are for me. So this is the first time I'm putting them together. I like that. I like how you just get that tiny lip. I thought they were exactly the same size, but they're not. So let's do the green one. It's nice to craft with something new live, so I discover it. As I discover how it works, I can show you. But it's about not being afraid of having a go. But don't forget, look at this. When I cut the base layer, I got lots of lovely detail in there anyway. You can't see it once I put the matte layer on, the top layer on, but even so, you still got lots of detail. So just press. If you need to, just use your pressure tool. Yeah, pressure tool, that's the word I was looking for. Okay, so now I've got a couple of the maple leaves, a couple of those ones, I'm not sure what they are. I've got that one in green and in yellow. Oh, I've got, that's definitely an oak leaf I've done in yellow. I've got this one in burgundy, and I've got a couple of little ones just here. It's going to look like quite a lot of foliage, but don't worry, it's going to look amazing. So how do we make the flower? And I'm going to make the flower to look like this. Now, can I tell you, please don't think that every time I do things, they are right every time. That was the first time I did it. And you wanted it in blue, and I cut my flower, all 3 layers. I cut it out. You can see I've got 3 layers to this flower, and I laid it up, and I did it like that. I don't like it. I don't even think I'm going to keep it. I just did not like how that looked. So I had to think, and I thought, I know, I'll find some pattern paper in the blue. And so this is from and I just had the pad a few minutes ago. Here we are. It's from my Venetian Grace, and I don't even know if I've got another one left to show you the exact sheet it was. I think it's, yes it was, it's that sheet. There we go. But I wanted the reverse because sometimes the B-sides are just as nice. So what I've done is I've cut it out. I've cut out this flower. I've not even cut out these. And I've cut out this flower in the russet. And what I've done is I've inked it. So you can see so far I've cut it and then I've run it back through with my embossing mat. And then all I need to do is get my ink, any ink you want. I'm just using a water reactive because they're the ones I like. And then I'm just going to go through there. Now I started off just sort of concentrating the ink colour near the outer edge. I'm still sort of doing that, but it's quite small, so it does go all over. And pop that there. And then I'm popping that out. Now straight away, doesn't that look lovely? So much nicer than just a plain, you know, just a plain die cut. So all I need to do is turn these over, and I'm going to get a ball tool, any ball tool that you've got, and I'm just going to press on the back. Don't worry about the embossing, you're not going to ruin it. You've already inked it, so even if you flatten the embossing, it doesn't matter because you've still got the effect of the embossing with the ink. So I'm going to pop those through there. I'm going to get my glue. I'm going to put the tiniest dot in the centre there. And then, right, so that matches up like that. So I don't want, so I'm going to turn it about 180 degrees-ish, but I want to stagger it. So I'm going to pop it like that. Then I'm going to get my ball tool and I'm just going to press and hold just for a second for that glue to cure. Then I've got to find my little burgundy one that I was just showing you. There it is. So that can go. But the important thing is to stagger it. And I think that is what makes a difference. I'm going to get that. This has been embossed too. So just put that. I think I need a smaller ball tool on that one. Then I'm just going to grab my tweezers. Pick it up. My fingers get in the way. A little bit of glue in there. And then that's going to go into the centre. Just put it where I want it to be. This glue really does seem to work really well with making paper flowers. Just hold that for a second, just while that glue grabs. And once that's grabbed, and there's flower. Now, can you see, I know that was done on white, but can you see the difference to me? I think it's because it's got those gaps by using two the same size. So I could make smaller flowers with that one, smaller of that. I even tried doing this one, putting a smaller one in the middle. Didn't work. I just liked it like that. So all I then do is grab everything out of the box. Dear me, fly. That's my bit box. I had the pearl wand upside down in it so that they all came to the right place. There we go. Pearl wand in yellow lemon, it's called. So I'm going to take that, and then I'm just going to pop a little bit in the centre. You could be doing a regular pearl. You could be doing a button. But nice big, don't be stingy with it. I might actually, once this is on the card, put a bit more on that one. That's not enough. So there you are. That's how you make the flowers. So easy. So let's start putting things together. So all else I've done, like I say, is I've cut these out of the gold. Let's move this out of the way. So that's out of the same gold as there, you can see there. And the other thing I've done is when I was making the flowers, I had a little piece of the blue left. So I've just cut it and matte and laid it. And of course, you need a sentiment. So I need some glue. Okay, so I've got my 3D glue. I just had to fill up the bottle. And I've got this. So I'm going to pop this across the middle first. Let's do that with... actually, I might do that with 3D glue because then it'll go into those gaps. So I'm just going to pop that on. I don't want it to, I'm not doing this so that it's got dimension. I'm doing it so that it flows into those holes. So let's take that. I'm going to turn it round and I'm going to pop it here. So I've cut it so that it should just run up to the blue. So it almost looks like the blues at the ends. I'm going to pop that on there. And then I'm just going to add what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a nice big blob of glue just here. And this is how I tend to do it. So I'm going to get my yellow one first. I'm going to pop this on here. I'm not going to glue it too tight just yet. And then, no, I'm going to go, you see, I've already changed it one now. And then I'm going to pop this onto here. Now remember, you can come off the edges, the top, but you can't come off the bottom. Because if you come off the bottom, your card's not going to stand up. So I'm just going to pop that there. I'm going to need some more glue, but we'll deal with that one in a minute. Oh, and I'll do that in a minute as well. So the next thing I want to do is come in with this one. Oops. Let's put that just up there. Then I think I'll come down here with this one. I want to keep a lot of this showing. Now I'm going to come round that way. Let's come around that way. I'm just trying to stop so I don't have too many of the same colour all next to each other. And then I can come in with this one. They're all going through that glue at the centre. Can you see? I've come right off the edge of my card. That's what I want to do. Okay, so I'm going to grab my glue and I'm going to put a little bit more underneath some of these now, just to hold them. I hope that one holds. Put a little bit there. I don't like to put too much glue when I do foliage because I like that look of movement. And then I'm going to use this one that I've just done because I really like it. I'm going to pop that on there. Let's get a little bit more glue behind there. We need plenty of glue. It'll all just sort itself out. Now, what I've done, and I've done it on purpose, is I've left these off because what I want to do is I want to tuck these under. I don't know why I wanted these. I just knew I did. I just wanted to add a little bit more sort of structure and dimension. So they're just little random pieces. I've cut them up and then I'm just poking them in so that you can't see that I've cut them up, basically. As simple as that. Let's put one under here. Obviously I'm effectively making the card a little bit bigger by coming off the edges, but if you're making your own box that you probably have to do for this anyway, it really doesn't matter. Okay, and then it's just about looking to see if I've got any gaps. Have I got any more foliage or is that all I've cut? I think that's all I've cut. Could get away with a bit more. Let's see if I can pop another one. Oh yeah, this is definitely where more is more, isn't it? I didn't think I was going to use all this foliage. There we go. And then I'm going to use that one. And I'm going to pop it under there. How? Oh, wow. I love that. I love, love, love that. Do you know what? Sometimes you just don't know how a card's going to come together. So what you can see is I've hidden all of the stems. They've all gone behind the flower. And I just love that autumn colour with the blue contrast. So let's just put some lovely glue on here. And then I'm going to pop that just on there. Just like that. And then the final thing you could do if you wanted to is I could get my pearl wand. I could put a couple of, I wasn't sure where I was going to go with this. You can see one on there, one on there. Make sure they're all the same. I could do one on there. I was planning to do them on these, but I don't think I need that. I was going to do it on the joints, but I don't think I need them. Have I got enough in there? I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. There we go. And that is all I am going to do. I just wanted to have a play with these new dies. So new to me. These are, like I say, paper discovery, but you can get foliage dies all over. I did have some mother leaves. I knew I did. I had these ones. Let's just pop these in because I've got them. Don't be afraid to overload with this card. Don't be afraid. And I'm just pushing it into the glue that's already there. That one's snucked in. Come on. There we go. That needs a bit of more glue. Oh, I've just used a whole tube of glue, whole syringe of glue, not whole tube. But I think this works because of the amount of foliage I've used. There we go. Why is that one twinging back? There we go. That's better. Even better. How about that? Once that's dry, I can then add a little bit more shape and dimension if I wanted to. But you know what? I think that is gorgeous. It's like, to me, it's a contrast. You've got the foliage with the blue, but wow, doesn't that work? I wonder if that could be a colour combination for one of my colour challenges one month. The greens and the rusts and the blue. Thinking that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. That was just me rambling on as I sat and made a card that I just really, really wanted to enjoy making. And wow, I have loved making this one. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'd love to be able to bring you tutorials and, you know, content every week. I try to do 4 every week. Quite a challenge now I'm back at work, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I hope you like this. I've loved this one. Lots of links down here on the descriptions. Also, my Buy Me a Coffee page details are down there. Anything that you do that helps the channel keep going, thank you so much indeed. I really, really do appreciate it. I've loved making this. I hope you have. And until next time, bye for now.